Hi everyone, welcome to the Leicester College Ask the Experts series. This is number 5 in the ongoing series. We still have a few more to come. Today we are joined by ex-councillor and Leicester Deputy Mayor Rory Palmer, and we're going to be asking him a couple of questions about what it is to be a city councillor, and the sort of things that it requires to get into the post and the sort of experience that he's had. Interviewing today is going to be our student union representative, Harmeet Kaur. She's in the first year of her childcare T-level study, and she's been invited along today just to ask a couple of questions on our behalf. So just introduce the guys here.
Hello.
Hi both,
Hi.
nice to meet you. So Harmeet, if you'd like to just do a quick introduction for yourself, and then we'll go straight into some questioning.
Perfect. So hi everyone, my name's Harmeet. I'm the president of our student union here at Leicester College. And for those of you who don't know, our student union is basically a proactive group of students who organise events and campaigns throughout the year based on issues that our students feel deeply about or want to raise awareness about. We're basically a union of students that is run by students, for the students, and to represent students. So should we just get straight into the questions, Rory? Yes. So the first question is, tell us about yourself.
Okay, well, hi everyone, and thank you for that introduction, and thank you for the invitation to join this session. A little bit about me. As you said, I'm Rory Palmer, and for 10 years, from 2007 to 2017, I was one of the elected city councillors here in Leicester. I was elected to represent the Ayers-Monsell area, but within that 10 years I spent 6 years as the city's first deputy city mayor. So I was the deputy city mayor to Sir Peter Soulsby, the city mayor, and in that role I was tasked with providing leadership across a range of policy and service areas that touch the lives of people and communities right across Leicester in lots of different ways. Prior to that, I'd spent time working in and around politics, working for members of parliament in their offices, helping local people, working on press, communications, campaigns, research in parliament in Westminster. So lots of different things in and around politics.
It's amazing. So the next question is, tell us what it is that you did as a councillor.
So the main part of the role of being a city councillor is to represent and to be a voice for the part of the city, and as a ward elect to represent. Within that, you will spend time helping individual people and families who will come and see you with problems and concerns that they have, and you will take up their cases and be their advocate, be their representative, be their voice inside the system, if you like. You're also there and to provide what you might call community leadership, to be a leader in your community, to set direction, to work with residents, businesses, other stakeholders, to develop a vision for the future of the community that you represent, and then to work with partners in lots of different ways to try to deliver that vision and to improve the area that you represent, because of course you're elected into the position. So in 4 years' time, you want to be able to go back to that community and be able to say, you know, I think I've done quite a good job. We're working well together. Please re-elect me and let me carry on.
Sounds like a really rewarding job. The next question we have is, what qualifications do you have?
What qualifications do I have? So I went to university a fair few years ago now. I studied social policy, which was a degree course essentially looking at how public services were organised, run and delivered. So looking at things like the NHS, the police, social services, local government services more broadly, really exploring how those services are funded, how they're organised, how they're run, how they can change, how they might need to improve, and the history behind our public services. Prior to that, I did A-levels, did quite a mixed bag of A-levels. I did design technology, business studies, English and general studies. So, one of the sort of interesting things that's often said to me when I do Q&As like this is that, you ended up in politics with a political career, but you didn't study politics. And I often say that actually, I think having not studied politics was probably quite a good thing. It meant I went into my political career with, quite an open mind. And actually, I think, when I look at political theory, political philosophy, sometimes there's a gap between that and the lived reality of working in and around politics and representing people in the political system.
Great, thank you. That links to our next question. Did you need to go to uni to become a counsellor?
Absolutely not. You know, you're elected to the position. It's the people in the community that you want to represent who decide, you know, if you get the job, if you get the position or not. And, you know, your qualifications don't appear on the ballot paper when people go and vote and decide who they want to elect to be their local councillors. So no, you didn't have to go to university. I did. But I know, you know, many people who are fantastic, brilliant elected councillors, but also, you know, who serve in elected office in different ways as well, who didn't go to university. So no, you don't have to go to university at all. The qualification for the job is convincing the people you want to represent that you're the best person to do that and to be their voice.
So I think that comes into the next question. What skills do you think you need to become a successful counsellor?
So I think you could probably identify pretty much every skill you know, area has been relevant to the role of counsellor. You know, it's a challenging role, it's a demanding role, but it's a hugely rewarding role. But if I had to identify a few skills for the purpose of this question, I think, you know, the most important thing is demonstrating that you care about people, that you care about the community you want to represent, and that you care about society and making change happen. So I think within that, you need, you know, a high degree of empathy and compassion. You need to be a really good communicator. You know, you're going to be communicating with lots of different people all the time in the role. You need to be a good team player, but also you need to be happy working sort of independently as well. I think within that, you need to apply leadership skills as well. Leadership is really important. I think in terms of more, you know, other specific skills as well, being able to digest and work through lots of information relatively quickly. So being able to analyze information really quickly, being able to distill information, understand, you know, lots of data and statistics and numbers and financial papers, because one of the things you do as a councillor is you vote every year on the council's budget, which runs into, you know, hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds. You know, that's, you know, the funding of all our frontline services in the city. So actually, you know, it's a huge range of service, a huge range of skills that are needed. But I would say this as well, you know, one of the things that I found, and I know that this applies to other councillors as well, is that you also have the opportunity through the role to learn lots of new skills and develop lots of new insight and experience as well.
Great, thanks, Rory. The next question is, did you have work experience in the industry before you became a councillor?
So I suppose the fact that I'd worked for members of parliament and I'd worked in and around the political world, if you like, before becoming an elected councillor probably helped me to a point. It meant I had a, you know, a good level of understanding in terms of how political decision making works, understood the role of a councillor, how councillors, you know, need to work closely with members of parliament, with other public sector leaders in their area as well. However, again, you know, the prerequisite to this role, the essential requirement is to demonstrate your commitment, your passion, your ideas and your values, and to convince the thousands of people who can vote for you. So, you know, work experience in and around the role could be beneficial. But if you get elected, you're going to have to learn a huge amount very quickly anyway. So I suppose you know, I was fortunate. I did have some, you know, some prior sort of background experience in the world of politics, but it's by no means essential to being able to do the role effectively.
Oh, great. So what steps did you take before applying for the role?
So I guess first of all, you know, I had a sort of, you know, strong interest in local government, in politics, and, you know, that had sort of instilled in me, you know, a determination and a desire to want to become an elected councillor. So, you know, the steps, as I said, ultimately, you know, you've got to get elected, and there's a number of formal steps you have to do. You know, you need to be nominated to get on the ballot paper, and obviously, you know, most people will stand as a candidate for a particular political party. You know, I was an elected Labour councillor, but I think pretty much everything that I'm saying here is applicable to people who, you know, may take a different political view and want to stand for other parties, and sometimes people stand as independent candidates, not aligned to a particular party. So, you know, I took the steps that were required inside the Labour Party. Each political party will have their own sort of selection steps, if you like. That's, you know, that's the process by which you will fill an application form to say, I want to be a candidate at the elections that are coming up. You will write about what you want to do why you want to do it, the skills you bring, the experience that you've got. Some, you may sit in front of an interview panel, perhaps made up of current councillors, and they will interview you and approve you as a candidate. And I think the other parties have similar processes as well. So I guess they're the steps that are the formal steps that I took. You then, if you become a candidate, need to get out there and campaign and go knocking on doors, delivering leaflets, be active on social media to get your message across. And that message is, of course, convincing those people who are going to vote for you, why you think, you and your party are making the best offer to that local community, and why people should vote for you. And of course, that requires a lot of hard work over a period of months and weeks leading up to the election. You need to get out there, you need to be visible in the community, and have those conversations to as I said, to convince people that you're their best choice when they go and vote.
Thank you, Rory. Another question we have is, what hours did you work?
Lots and lots, to be honest. So to be an elected councillor itself, it's not a full-time job. It's not designed to be a full-time job. So, so a lot of people will become elected councillors alongside their other jobs and their other careers. What that means is that a lot of the meetings will take place in the evenings after the working day. So as an elected councillor, it would not be uncommon to have evening meetings of various committees that you serve on. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes even 4 evenings a week. You will then have responsibilities that you'll do at the weekend as well, running your surgery, where residents can come and see you with their local problems and concerns. You will go out door knocking. You will host and attend public meetings in the area that you represent. So you can total the hours up. Sometimes some weeks it may eat into, say, 10 to 15 hours. Other weeks it'll be much more than that. As deputy mayor, that was a full-time position. They were long days. That was a full-time position with a big range of responsibilities. And when I was deputy mayor, I would often get into the office at sometimes 7:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and be there at meetings well into the evening as well. So long hours, but hugely rewarding. And if you want to get things done in your local community, you need to put the hours in to make those things happen.
Yeah, no, I do agree. So how much money can someone earn in this job role?
Again, that varies as well. And a really important point that I would make on this is that the pay, the money that elected councillors and local politicians receive for their roles is independently set. It's set by panels who will examine in detail some of the things you've just asked me. What's involved in the role. The role is changing all the time. Social media has changed the role, for example. The structures of local government, the services that local government now provides are changing in parts of the country as well. So panels will periodically look at that and take evidence, and then come forward with recommendations independently of the elected councillors themselves. In Leicester, an elected councillor will be entitled to, I think, a basic allowance, and it's called an allowance, not a salary, of in the region of £11,000 a year. If you then take on additional responsibilities to be the vice chair or the chair of a committee, you can receive further allowances on top of that. And if you're a member of the city mayor's executive, as I was as the deputy mayor or assistant mayor, additional allowances will be paid up to £45,000 on top of the 11,000. But as I said, that's independently set. That will vary again in different parts of the country as well. Panels in different parts of the country will assess those levels of allowance differently, according to local circumstances.
Perfect. Thank you, Rory. And what was the most rewarding aspect of the job, would you say?
I guess just having a fantastic opportunity to make a difference to the local community that you're elected to represent. People go into elected office, whether that's at local level or national level, because they want to make a positive difference, and that's true whatever party you represent. And it's a huge honour then to represent your party and to be elected to represent a local community. So you want to then make the most of that. And I was very determined when I was elected that I wanted to really deliver tangible and practical changes to the area that I represented. So that took the form of new play equipment in the children's park, big improvements to the local community centre, a big local regeneration project with new shops and a new shopping precinct, demolishing an old eyesore building, which had become, you know, a magnet for antisocial behaviour. But then also, you know, it's the fact that you're in an incredibly privileged and fortuitous position. You are able to help people and help people directly on their local concerns and their individual problems. And over the years, you know, I assisted and helped hundreds of families and individuals and households on a huge range of different issues. And, you know, to be honest, when people come back and say, you know, thank you, or send you a note to say thank you for the help that you've given and the difference you made, that's just, you know, an incredibly special and humbling and rewarding thing to happen. And, you know, I say this to people who are thinking about going into politics and elected office, you know, don't ever lose sight of that. You know, you're there to make a difference. You're there to be people's voice. You're there to, you know, be people's voice inside, you know, big bureaucracies and big systems that don't always feel as if they're on the side of people. And, you know, not always sort of, you know, as helpful as they might be. You know, you're there to champion those people, that community, and to make a difference, be that community's voice, be those individuals' voice inside the system, and to make a difference. And, you know, I've got to say that's just, you know, it's an incredibly, you know, special and privileged thing to be able to do. So all of that together is what I found most rewarding.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So our final question is, what is something people do not know about the job and may find surprising?
Wow, that was the most difficult. That's the most difficult question, I think, and I was really struggling to find an answer. But I think what I'm going to say is, and I think, you know, there's an important message in the answer that I'm going to give, and that is, I think when people look at politics on the television, when you watch Prime Minister's Questions and you look at politics nationally, you see a political system which looks and feels very adversarial, you know, very argumentative, sometimes quite divisive, and in my view, too divisive as well. Now, sometimes local politics, and being on the city council, can be like that. But actually, you will also see examples, and you will have opportunities where people from different political standpoints who represent different parties will work together on issues and to make that difference. Now, you know, people are elected to represent their own party, but sometimes, you know, those partisan interests can be put aside, and you can work together with people from different political parties. And I think sometimes, you know, when I talk about that, that's a big surprise to people. And I think it's, you know, it's something that, you know, maybe we need to see more of in our politics. You know, robust debate, robust differences of view, lively exchanges of opinion and ideas. They are really fundamental parts of our politics. They're, you know, they're signs of a healthy and lively democracy. But partisanship and divisiveness for the sake of it, they're not healthy signs of a local democracy or of a healthy political system. So I think, you know, sometimes it is surprising when I say that, you know, you will find that people from different political parties have been elected to the council, will get on well at a personal level, will chat to each other about, you know, what we've been doing at the weekend and about our families, and you'll make friendships that reach beyond political party boundaries. And sometimes, you know, you will work effectively and well together with people from other political standpoints. And, you know, I think that can be surprising to people. But I also think it's, you know, it's just a really important message about what we might expect of our political system nationally and locally.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rory. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot to both of you. Really appreciate you taking the time to join the stream today. So Harmy and Rory, thank you for joining Leicester College Ask the Expert session today. That's brilliant. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
So just want to say a special thanks to the two of them again for joining. You don't often see, it does take a little while to organise these sessions, and both of our experts and panel give up their spare time. It is a volunteer activity, but we do enjoy doing them. We do have a couple more upcoming, but one special mention for the next upcoming session is in May on the 10th. For anybody who is interested in becoming a rap artist or producer, we do have a session with Lloyd Luther, who's going to be talking to us a little bit about how he's got into that area of work. But until then, keep checking the website. We'll have many more upcoming Ask the Expert sessions in future. Thank you. Bye-bye.